Local music spotlight on the Reluctantly podcast. And today, the songwriting duo of Dahlia Wakefield and Kevin Frey join me. This podcast is reluctantly sponsored by Timber-Built Homes. Timberbuilthomes.ca, where you can find out all you need to know about a home in a box. Also, thanks to Concept Clothing and Culture, CONXEPPT.com. Men's and women's fashion, handmade, custom to you. And a big thanks to my real estate agent, Wendy Campbell. Wendy, WENDE, at blackmorerealestate.ca.
Hello.
Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
I'm excited to find out more about the two of you and the dynamic and everything that happens between you as far as a songwriting duo. But the first thing I want to find out is the recent acknowledgement or nomination, as it were. Explain exactly what happened with the International Singer-Songwriter Association and the five nominations that you were up for?
Yeah, actually, I was nominated for 6 awards, but a finalist in 5, and so this on August 22nd is the awards show, and so we're traveling to Atlanta. I'm just very honored to have been nominated in so many categories. Yeah, it is the International Singer-Songwriter Association, and one of the songs was Well-Dressed Lies. And some of the nominations are for Best Entertainer and Best Songwriting and Best Single.
Yeah, I can't remember all of them.
I can't remember, but yeah, it'll be a good experience to go.
So are you going to travel together? You're both going to this event? And are you nominated as a songwriting duo or is it
just for a song?
Right.
Well-Dressed Lies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there any opportunity to possibly perform down there while you're going through all of the glitz and glamour?
Possibly, probably at the after party.
We'll see what we can wrangle up.
That's right. But also, we're taking this opportunity to do some sightseeing there. I'm a huge Gone with the Wind fan. And so we get to see Margaret Mitchell's house and do a couple of ghost tours. But also, we're going to be heading to Nashville afterwards. Apparently, it's only a 4-hour drive. He's never been. I've been there once, but that was 12 years ago. And that was also for an awards show. I won the Global Country Over 30 award, and so I got a chance to go to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee to perform, and I won a few awards there too.
Nice.
Yeah.
So with and you said the International Singer-Songwriter Association Awards are in Atlanta?
Atlanta.
Correct. And you've never been?
Never.
No, I went. I don't know if you remember the movie Fled with Lawrence Fishburne.
Okay.
So this was back in, I guess it's got to be the early 90s. And they had a thing through the movie company where select people from all over North America at radio stations and whatnot got to go down and spend the weekend in Atlanta.
That's nice.
Yeah. So we went down and saw the world premiere of this movie Fled. And went and played paintball and like all kinds of crazy stuff.
Wow.
And Atlanta, it's just muggy hot. Like, if you're going to be there and not like you're going to be there and not like less than 10 days, it's going to be warm and it's likely going to be muggy. So you want to get that app and make sure you're checking the weather forecast.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And layers.
Good to know.
Yeah, Atlanta. And then the drive to Nashville. I've been to Nashville as well. One time I spent some time down there with Mike Plume and his brother Chris, and saw Clayton and the Roadhammers down there, Jason and the guys. and wandered around. We went down to Memphis. We went down and saw Graceland.
Oh, that would be wonderful. I would love to see Graceland.
So depending on the amount of time that you have,
Yeah.
you're going to have all kinds of opportunities to see some pretty cool stuff.
Absolutely.
I'm hoping to get in to see Jack White's place there, Third Man Records.
Yeah, I've been. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Are you a whiskey fan? Either one of you?
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then you got to go to Lynchburg.
Lynchburg.
Yeah,
Oh.
you got to go to the Jack Daniels.
Yeah. Okay.
You got to
testing here and there. Sure.
And remember, it's a dry county. Isn't that funny? Lynchburg is a dry county.
Interesting. Wow, that's ironic.
Yeah. So I can't remember. It was 2015, so over 10 years since I've been. But I went there with Mike and Chris Plume, and we had a great old time, and just learned everything you could possibly learn about Jack Daniels and the whole whiskey making thing. And I wanted to buy a barrel. It would have been delivered to you on a like a pallet or like.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That would have been.
So the songwriting partnership between the two of you is pretty recent, right?
Since 2023.
Yeah, just a little over 3 years now. Yeah.
What were you doing before you were writing songs with Dalia?
Kind of all over the place. I kind of fell out of music with COVID and stuff like that for a little while. Was doing my own thing with my brother on drums, and we had a band called Thistle, and that's how we actually met way back.
When I was with the Dirt Road Angels, we did a show at Blackjack's in Nisku, and they opened for us. And that so 10 years ago, that was November of 2016 is when we actually met, but we didn't really do any songwriting or really connecting, just Facebook friends basically until 2023.
Yeah. And you posted something about pico de gallo, and I mentioned that I make it with garlic.
So we connected through food.
Yeah.
Pico de gallo connection. Wow. That's something. Your band Thistle, how long had that been going with your brother on drums?
We just for a couple of years, we played a little bit here and there around Edmonton and area. We got to come across a chance that to record at Grant MacEwan. They were looking for outside projects for their students to get some practice and experience other than jazz. So we were like, okay, let's try. We connected with one of the students. We did 2 4-hour sessions and had 9 songs.
It was amazing.
So we went 4 on like live right from the floor and just.
So you're a product of the Grant MacEwan program as well?
No, I've not trained in any way at all.
Self-taught, but
since you were a kid, sort of thing, or like when did you start?
Back in high school, I tried taking lessons privately. It didn't really stick. I just found that every time I went in for a lesson, he's like, "What song do you want to learn today?" I'm like, "Well, I want to know about scales and." And the only scale I learned was a basic pentatonic. So it's just
what a nerd he is. Hey, wants to know about scales.
That's the thing I didn't want to know at that time. I just wanted to know cowboy chords, but I ended up going the Grant MacEwan route because
you theory nerd.
I still can't read it. So.
It's so funny that you say that because Mike Plume has always told me, another mention for every time you hear the word Mike Plume, drink.
Yeah.
Drink some Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
Mike Plume says the best way to learn how to play guitar is to learn a song and play it not until you get it right, but until you don't get it wrong.
Yeah.
And then learn another song and then keep doing that until you all of a sudden 30 or 40 songs and you can play them until you don't get them wrong. And then all of a sudden you're at an open mic or you're on stage somewhere or you're, at a jam doing 3 or 4 songs when it's your turn or something like that. So that's, I think what a lot of people like, I'm confused by the theory, the scales, the pentatonics, the arpeggios, all that bullshit. And it's so frustrating to me because I reach a plateau and when I start playing guitar, I pull it out and I end up playing the same thing that I played 6 months ago when the last time I pulled the guitar out, I played the same thing. and I haven't gotten any better because I don't do the 15 minutes a day what you're supposed to do or anything like that. So I'm, the way that you've done it, and been interested in the scales and that sort of thing, I think is interesting.
Yeah.
It's different for everybody.
Yeah, and I'm still not proficient at soloing at all. I'm more of a rhythm guy. Like I'm kind of like the Malcolm Young.
He comes up with so go ahead.
Well, no,
He comes up with amazing riffs all the time. Yeah.
Well, and what do you play an instrument? Or, like, do you have a main instrument, or do you play many, or what?
I was forced by my mother to take piano lessons at a very young age, but I believe that helped my ear for harmonies. And so I did go to Grant MacEwan back in the day, and I play a little bit of rhythm acoustic guitar, and I do chord on the piano, but I'm not a soloist either, but I also teach music at Visionary Center for the Performing Arts here in St. Albert, and I also teach at KPA School of Music in Stony Plain. And so I teach young kids to, the basic theory of music and scales and whatnot. So I had to learn that stuff. but it has come. The reason why I went is because the people that I was working with, I really wanted to create my own songs, but I didn't know how to do that. And so I wanted to learn how to, because they weren't hearing what I was hearing, and so I couldn't really do it on my own. So it was a wonderful, valuable experience, and graduated with distinction. And I have a lot of friends from that back that era, and I actually continue to maintain those friendships. And some of those people have performed with me to this day. So,
Were you a student at Grant MacEwan around the same time that the Smalls, Corb, and those guys were in there, or was that before or after?
I graduated in 99. Yeah. A long time ago.
Don't age yourself. So, both originally from Edmonton, or was there?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was born in the Philippines, raised and made from Saskatchewan, and slowly inched my way westward. Moved to Edmonton in 97.
Do you have Filipino parents, or
My mom is.
Your mom's Filipino? Was your dad in the service, or like,
No.
or what was?
They were pen pals. From my, I guess he was writing to my mom's sister, but then she was already betrothed to to someone else. So she gave my mom my dad's picture and letter, and they started communicating, and my dad decided to meet her in person, and exactly 9 months later I was born.
Wow.
Well, they were married too.
Did he travel to?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
He did. Yeah.
That's heavy. And then they named you Dahlia. Were they hippy dippy? Like, were they? Is that a family? Is that a family name that was somebody else had prior to you? Or?
My mom said her teacher was named Dalia. So, and I am a teacher now too, so I guess that's kind of neat. And it's also the name of a flower. And but I don't have a green thumb. He has the green thumb.
Yeah. So when the performance happens, is it? Are you part of the band, like up on stage and doing the thing too? Like, what's your whole setup like?
In there and getting
Yeah.
there. I played with them a couple times now. Blues on White,
and Ravenwood Festival.
Yeah, Ravenwood.
Our songs. Yeah.
Right.
Last year.
Yeah. And then actually last Saturday we did a duo show, and we have another show coming up at Starlight Casino on Friday, and then on Saturday we have another show just in Redwater for Discovery Days. So we're kind of in that learning stage of figuring out our niche.
Well, you've done a lot of things. You said to mention Dirt Road Angels, and like there was Brigade. There is
still Brigade. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you the belted out Ann Wilson?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we performed at Cornfest last year, Cornstalk in Tabor. This year we opened for Nick Gilder of Sweeney Todd,
Right.
Headpins, Honeymoon Suite, and Colin James. and it was just amazing. It was a
Yeah.
fabulous event. It was so hot. I almost died on stage.
It was like
I was
35.
it was the sun was just pouring on us, and I just remember thinking, oh, I don't feel so good. I need to look. I looked over to the side, and luckily there was a chair, so I thought, oh good, my next song is Alone. I can sit down for that, because I thought I was going to fall over. It was so hot. The water that I was drinking wasn't quenching my thirst. My feet were on fire.
Yeah.
And I was wearing black. Oh,
And then poor Nick Gilder, he almost collapsed on stage, and they were throwing wet towels on him. And his whole
yeah.
band had wet towels over their heads and kept
Yeah.
going.
Is that
Yeah,
right?
they had to stop for a bit,
Yeah.
and yeah, he was feeling nauseous
It
too.
was
It
right
was
around 35, 36
Yeah,
degrees.
and they didn't have any shade, because I think we had a little bit, but they didn't have
Yeah.
any. And I think the same thing with the head pins too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So when you're doing stuff with the Dirt Road Angels,
Mhm.
you know, in the past, and Brigade, and you know, it's a full band kind of thing with your solo stuff. Is it full band? Do you stick with, you know, you talked about doing like a duo kind of thing? Where's your heart? Where is it? Because you're you talked about country music earlier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Brigade is heart
Yeah.
tribute. That's pretty. This is rock and roll as you
Yeah.
can get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're not doing Motorhead covers or anything like that, but you're a rock and roller.
Oh, I
Which
am a rock and roller,
you,
but
but you've done pretty
country,
much all the genres.
yeah,
Where is your heart? Where's because I've
rock.
is it
Yeah, yeah.
okay?
Well, I have a hard rock band called Kerosene. We do a few shows a year, and also Shocker is my metal band. We do
Mhm.
80s metal. But once a year, we have the annual Shocker Fest, which is October 3rd at Starlight Room, and that is fun. It's just a way for me to channel my inner metal queen goddess. You know, we actually sing that song, Metal Queen. I love Lyran. Yeah, she's a great person, and but I guess I I've been singing other people's songs for so long that I want to be able to sing my own. And with Dirt Road Angels, I was able to showcase a few of my songs, but um yeah, we've been doing that for 13 years, but I think it's time for me to start singing my own. And I guess whatever the gig calls for, whether it's solo or a duo or full band, it would be 5 people to, he would be involved. But I also have the villains. That's a 4 piece. But
More
yeah,
casino oriented.
casino
But
oriented.
yeah,
Yeah.
you get anywhere from Kansas to Lady Gaga
Yeah, and
and
country, everything in between. So, I've always loved to sing all genres. I luckily have the ability to do it. Except for rap, I don't rap. I don't know how they could remember all those words, but I don't like to pigeonhole myself. But right now, my current love is rock music.
Yeah, I think the next step is Tone Loc and Snoop Dogg. You know, you start branching out and stuff like that.
Maybe, you never know. Never say never.
Yeah. I'd like to take a moment to tell you how excited I am to welcome a new partner on the Reluctantly podcast. It's Timber Built Homes. Their focus is timber homes and cottages, year-round living, recreational dwellings, and beyond that, pavilions, barns, and freestanding timber-built offices. Complete information is available at timberbuilthomes.ca, and it's also where you'll learn about Timberbuilt's Home in a Box. It's fantastic. An entire home package shipped in a sea can anywhere in the world right to your build site. See the floor plans, sample builds, photo gallery, and most important, the prices right on their website, timberbuilthomes.ca. And please let them know that you heard about them on the Reluctantly podcast. The dynamic with going from singing, and it's funny because just not too long ago I interviewed Lucas and Brandon from Whale and the Wolf, and started talking about them making the transition from playing covers to playing their own music and having a full night of your own music.
Wow.
Same with you know, some other bands that I've interviewed in the past, and Bobby Cameron's and Mike Plume's and Clayton Bellamy's, and Clayton's got some new music coming up that he's going to release on the 28th of August. We'll be talking with Clayton here in a future podcast. But when you go from singing the covers, which I get it, like, you get into a situation where you're playing at a casino or you're playing here, a gig's a gig, and, cash is cash. And if you're playing cover songs to appease the people in a casino or at a festival or whatever the case might be, whether it is the Heart tribute or if it's a more general kind of all-encompassing kind of thing, there is that certain amount of this is my own stuff kind of thing. Don't you feel that way?
Oh yeah, and it can be terrifying because some people, they know the covers. It's like, yeah, and then we do one of our songs. What's this? And the slow clap or else, yeah, I love it. I guess it depends on what the venue is and what, if they're really listening, actively listening. I also sing the golden oldies at retirement homes. And you know what? I love it because they are engaged. They're there and they're listening. They're not on their phones. They're not talking. And we're not just background music. And so I try to sneak an original song in, but just one of the mellower ones. I do have some of those. Our first song was Still Waters, and it's very mellow, and that was our 2004 release. Yeah, it was
24.
released
Yeah.
with Sandro and Sandro Dominelli. He's recorded our stuff, and I can't wait to release that album in the fall. We have our 5th single coming out in September, and yeah, it's actually the current single, Light of the Phoenix, apparently won a gold medal in the European International Music Awards. And it was the best rock song for social change, and so it's called Light of the Phoenix. And so that was yeah. So it's kind of neat getting a little bit of recognition for songs that you wrote.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Light of the Phoenix is a co-write with the two of you, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So after the trip to Atlanta, are you going to Europe to maybe be for an award acceptance?
They're sending my medal to me.
Oh, is that right?
So I don't think they actually have an awards show. It's just a bunch of judges. Like So
and didn't you also get a notification about the Josie Awards
oh
in
yeah,
Nashville?
Josie Music Awards. Yeah, I got
Later on.
nominated for I can't even remember what song, but also there's Elite Music Awards that I was nominated for my single Dreams of Yesterday. But that's the weird thing. I didn't know about it until this year. They sent the email to me last year. I didn't see it. It was buried. Can you imagine? Like, I didn't even get a chance to really say anything about it last year when I received the nomination. So.
You need an app to start keeping track of all of the nominations and award ceremonies that you might be missing.
Yeah, no kidding. It would be awesome to attend the Josie Music Awards, but that's I think coming up, and we just if we can find a sponsor, that would be great.
End of September, or is it
I think
early
I'm
October?
booked on that day. Yeah. And actually, one of the Dirt Road Angels, she has a musical duo. She won. They actually Sugar and Spice. They actually won a Josie Music Award, and so she's actually going to be coming today to sing backups on one of our songs, "Angels in the Alley," and that's not one of. That one actually is a co-write with Jill Thompson, who will also be in the studio too to watch Dirt Road Angels put the harmonies onto our song. It's just
some of those finishing touches.
You two are double dipping here at our studios at the Reluctantly Podcast Studio and Sandro Dominelli. You mentioned Sandro's a Juno nominee or Juno Award winner. Sandro Dominelli is. And he's a longtime musician in the Edmonton area and great producer. And he's got the studio and the School of Music with his wife, Brandy. And you work a lot with Sandro. I know that. Have you done that like since back in the day? Because I know you talked about 2004 when things was that sort of when things kind of started with you, or was it earlier than that? Because I know there was a break from, was it 2012 to 2020 sort of thing, that there
Yeah.
was a long time in there without any musical
Yeah.
releases.
Yeah, I raised my kids.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Good for you.
I had, I did stop music for a while, but then, when music is your calling, you can't it's like that itch you can't scratch, you just have to do it, and so, it was actually when I thought, "Okay, well, maybe I'll just ease my way back into music." So in 2011, I took a job teaching at Cooper Studios in Sherwood Park, just teaching music 1 day a week, and then they're like, "You should be on stage too." So I'm like, "Okay," I gathered a band, and yeah, some of those people I'm performing with to this day. I released my first album in 2004, my first solo album, and the last one, like you said, in 2012. But then I didn't really do anything because my kids were little, and I didn't really want to tour then. So, but I did get back into it through teaching, and yeah, I love teaching. I love being able to impart my knowledge because it's I I've I just want live music to continue.
Right.
Yeah.
Kevin, you talked about music involvement, band, brother, drummer, COVID. Um, and that was you released a song in 2020. What happened with COVID with you from your musical dynamic?
Just put it on hold and just tinkered around at home. Yeah,
You're
a few
also
ideas. Yeah,
you were also taking care of your mom too.
yeah, yeah. Dealing with Parkinson's there, so
Right.
getting her moved around from the different homes in the city, trying to get her into a comfortable living situation. So
Right. Uh, that's amazing. So admirable. Sometimes things like that change kind of the direction of everything when it comes to life. And, as far as looking after loved ones, whether it be raising kids or looking after, someone who is older and going through some health challenges. The, the pandemic, from a music point of view, the world just stopped. Knowing my son, who is a professional drummer, he had a gig set up for St. Patrick's Day at at a casino, and it was all ready to go, and it just we found out at the hockey game that night that the NBA shut down, the NHL was going to shut down, live music was done, and it was so hard on so many people, everything from the fans of the music to the venues that, if they were still around to provide that live music, and then, of course, the musicians themselves who are making a living, or at least trying to have that music support them. Um, I know you're you came from a job. Is music, is it ever something that you think, "This has to support me, this is where I wanna go?" Is it?
I'd love it to.
Yeah.
It's just like playing live here. There's not as many venues as there used to be, and
Especially where we live in Stony Plain.
yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, if you look at how they pay, they haven't changed their pay scales. What
Yeah.
they pay musicians in, what, 20 years or something
Yeah,
like that?
yeah, exactly.
Longer than that.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
not.
it's
Well,
Yeah,
I've
ridiculous.
been in Edmonton for 40 years,
yeah,
Mhm.
and, going back to the day where you had, the A, B, and C circuit and everybody, the CI South and the Boiler and this and that, and then, Steve McGarrett's Hair to, you know, to, Brent McNabb's band and Andrew White and, Shermack with China White and, like, all those guys and everybody that would come through, you would have Street Heart at Cheers in the Beverly Crest, and I don't know what the bands that had recording contracts and stuff, the April Wines, the Troopers, and the Street Hearts of that time were pulling when they would play Cheers in the Beverly Crest, but I know that there was an A, B, and C circuit,
yeah,
and there were bands that were playing 6 nights a week, and they were
Right.
making a living, and then they would do it here. They might do it on one side of town and then the other side of town 2 weeks in a row, or they would come back 2 months or 6 months later, but, I have really good friends, Trevor Tetzlaff, he didn't have a home. He didn't have a home for the better part of 5 years. We talk about those stories and how great the times were at that sort of thing. But you think about it, there was a time where if you were pulling in $100 or $150 a night, that means that you were making $600 a week, right? Sure, you spent a lot of that money on beer and cigarettes and whatnot, but $600 a week back in the 80s and 90s was
a lot further now than now.
it sure does. And now you're lucky if you can get 2 nights at a venue. 6-nighters. I don't know. Mike Braniff might be the only guy on the planet that still is pulling a 6-nighter up in Grand Prairie every once in a while. But it's just so difficult, and it's still $100 or $150 per person in the band
Yeah.
for a gig. If you get anything more than that, it's kind of surprising, or it may have come from a tip bucket or something like that at the front of the stage. So
Right.
And nowadays, half of that goes right into the gas tank.
Oh yeah, I drive a lot yeah. Is my gas bill is definitely a lot higher now that I've moved out into the country. But getting back to that COVID, yeah, when we were actually supposed to, my Villains band was supposed to perform at Rogers Place in that hall in what is it called? I can't remember.
Ford Hall.
Yep. That weekend, and yeah, March 13th, boom, nothing. That was the day that we had to, and so, but luckily 2 years later, we were able to perform there again. So, because it was weird because we all had contracts and we just had to, we couldn't do anything about it. It was really hard on me because I do make my living through music. And so luckily I was able to go on serve for a bit, but it wasn't enough to cover everything. I remember having to do online shows for tips. It was just ridiculous. And then finally, when we were able to, like, I had to wear a mask, or else we had to be so distant, and bubbles, and it was just ridiculous. And I think even the Newcastle built this contraption where it was like a fishbowl type of thing, and we had little, it was this plexiglass thing, and you could knock, hey, how's it going over there with my, I could wave at my guitarist in the next little cubicle. It's so weird. Those were the days. Like, it's so weird how we even think of our lives pre-COVID and post-COVID. It's just, it's one of those days.
The other thing too is you talked about music lessons and teaching, and I know you do vocal coaching and that as well. So if you're making your living, if you're supporting yourself through music, it's not just performance and on stage and releasing music. You're doing it where it was affected by COVID by teaching. There was all of a sudden there was no face to face. There was no, whether it was instruments or vocal coaching or whatever. You couldn't get together in the same room with anybody, and that was a huge hit probably too.
It was, until we decided, okay, well, let's try this online thing. And so I remember my very first online lesson. I was so nervous. But you know what? I got the hang of it. And then it was like, hey, I could wear my PJs. I could stay home. It was wonderful. I didn't have to drive anywhere. I didn't have to fight traffic. I didn't have to fill up my gas tank. And so I embraced that. The only thing that was very challenging was teaching piano, because I couldn't guide their fingers. And it was like, oh, you need to adjust your camera. And then sometimes they would forget their book. And so it's like, oh, how do I do this? It was challenging, but we got through it.
I was thinking about wearing my pajamas today.
Hey, you could have a pajama day. That would be fun.
That was the pajama podcast.
There we go.
I don't know if anybody's thought of that before. I do wear my pajamas to get gas from time to time.
Hey, whatever works.
We were talking about Sandro there, the local music scene and the support that you get from it. How long have you been working with Sandro for your original music? Does it go back to the first album? Or
No. It was through, okay, so Marty Collins. He needed a singer for one of his songs, and he hired Sandro back in 2022 or 2021. I'm not even sure. I can't remember exactly. But so he hired me for his rock song, and that's when I actually met Sandro. And yeah, the rest is history. I really liked working with him. He hired me for other things, and helped me get a sponsorship for 2 songs. So that was for Still Waters and Dreams of Yesterday. And then we decided to hire him for our album. But I knew of him. I actually, back in the day of the C magazine, I actually, for some reason, I tore out a segment that talked about Sandro, and there his pictures there and everything. And I texted it to Sandro. I'm like, look at what I found. Because I keep clippings. I don't know, for some reason, like, who knows? Maybe I knew I was meant to work with him or something.
Are you a scrapbooker?
Yes. Not lately though. I've been too busy for that. But I would just cut out things that I thought were interesting, or who knows, maybe even the other side was a venue index. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
Back in the day, there were a lot more venues than there is now.
Was it when he was with the Sandro Dominelli trio?
Yeah.
The jazz? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the nicest guy in the world.
Yes.
You know,
Yes, he is.
him and his wife, Brandy, both.
Yes.
So with that being there, with that connection, and then the two of you starting your songwriting partnership in 2023, how is, like, what were you doing prior to writing with her? Were you writing your original music and stuff, or sharing with other people, or did that dynamic sort of start between the two of you, or?
I was doing a little bit of writing, nothing overly exciting at that time. Some stuff sitting there, a few ideas that have been percolating for quite a while, and then we connected over the pico de gallo, and then decided to try writing, and and then it just snowballed.
It really did. Yeah. He comes up with these amazing riffs, and then it just inspires me to write. But also I used to write a lot of poetry. I have journals and song ideas, and like stacks, but no melody, or sometimes a melody, but my melodies were always country. But I wanted to have that rock influence, and that's why we have such great synergy, is because, he writes the amazing rock riffs, and then I put my 2 cents in and my lyrics, and it just seems to work.
Kind of mold things together and
arrange it, and
Is it strictly music, lyrics, or like kind of like the Mick Jagger, Keith Richards kind of thing? And
I don't know. Light of the Phoenix, I thought I'd come up with a good chunk of the chorus originally.
Yep, you did. Yeah, that was the song that you brought to me. And after I told him what, my situation, what I was going through at the time. And so he actually came up with those actual words, Light of the Phoenix, and showed me this amazing song. I thought, wow, I love it. I love it. And so I knew it had to be a single. And so it is. And it's, we hired a PR company, and it's gotten radio play all over the world. It's really cool, like Mexico, Uganda, Australia,
lot in the UK.
Lots in the UK. Yeah. And that would be wonderful. Like that, to me, that would be the ultimate goal or dream, to tour these places that have played our music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how who's working your material? Do you do it yourself? How is Uganda and the UK, and how are they accessing your music? I know the internet is the internet, but usually what has to happen is there has to be somebody working your material.
Yeah, it was Obsidian PR who did a lot of the playlisting and radio. He was very well connected. Because it shows up on my Warm report who has played our song and still continue, like getting play in London, and it's really cool. And
then using the Canadian companies here.
Yeah, Eric Alper, PR,
Yeah,
and AM to FM promotions for radio tracking.
and we seem to be hitting better in Quebec, province of Quebec. There's 5 or 6 radio stations are playing it.
Nice.
Yeah,
So,
like K-Rock Spain is playing our music, but K-Rock won't play our music here in Edmonton.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's format prohibitive, obviously, but there's other outlets and opportunities, and then the streaming thing.
Don't
Just the
get me
look on your
started.
face.
Oh gosh.
The look on your face said it all.
Oh, and then dealing with, AI music too. It's just like, oh, really? That's just another, ever since it's a lot harder for musicians to make a buck because they're used to in the days of yore, there was, this little mystical object called a CD, the LP, like the albums. But you know what? For this album, we're going to do a short run of CDs and vinyl. Why not?
There you go. If you're ever at a performance where Dalia is playing, make sure you buy the music directly from her, because then the money goes to her instead of you get it or steal it online or whatever. It goes to Mr. Spotify.
And, Daniel Eck.
Yeah.
Reluctantly.
This podcast is reluctantly sponsored by Wendy Campbell, realtor at blackmorerealestate.ca, serving the greater Edmonton area, proudly Canadian and locally owned. Contact Wendy at blackmorerealestate.ca. That's WENDE at blackmorerealestate.ca. Why does she not have a Y in her name? I don't know why. It's none of my business. Probably none of yours, too. Wendy has over 20 years of home sales experience. She has extensive knowledge of the new and previously owned home market. She can help you out with a free market evaluation of your home. And if you're looking to buy your forever home, she's got all the resources to help you with that as well. Not to mention, she's a builder partner with Rowett Homes. Wendy at blackmorerealestate.ca. WENDE at blackmorerealestate.ca.
Reluctantly.
Hey, give me a minute to tell you about Concept Clothing and Culture. CONXEPPT.com. Suits and tuxedos. And you can find them right here in Edmonton. They're handmade suits, custom tuxedos, tailored essentials, suits starting at $1,188. You choose everything. The color, the fabric, even the stuff on the inside. The little pokey pocket thing that sticks out. It's amazing. It's a terrific experience. You can go through and get something as fancy as a tuxedo, or you can start with outerwear, matching sets, tailored essentials. They even do shirts, trousers, vests, and they do amazing couture for women. CONXEPPT.com. Concept Clothing and Culture. Look your best.
Reluctantly.
Well, you talked about AI music. The thing is, I mean, you look at your songwriting, and you mentioned your diaries or your journals from a long time ago, and how you've been able to put together things from a lyrical aspect and connect them with the musical aspect that Kevin's got for you. A lot of the stuff that comes from resilience and struggle and strength and rising up, and like Light of the Phoenix and that sort of thing. But I don't know if AI can really do that, because you've obviously been through some things that comes out in your songwriting. Do you find that once you conquer a situation that you're in more of a songwriting mode when it comes lyrically, or is it something where you're still embroiled or still dealing with the struggle, or where you're pissed off about it? Like what's your
All of the
go-to?
above. Well, I've always been a proponent of writing out your feelings, and I wouldn't say that I'm still going through it. I think I've dealt with it, but it just having it out of my system is so releasing. It's so cathartic to write music and have that anger out of you. Like it just, I can still channel it if need be on stage, but I don't know. I just I find it easier to write songs when I'm sad or pissed off than when I'm happy, because those are the hardest songs, because when you're happy you just be, you're living life, and yeah, so I have to just learn how to channel that.
Is there a time where she writes something and you interpret it differently than how she intended, and then there all of a sudden it's like, if you have to explain the joke, then it's not funny anymore. So it's kind of that sort of thing. Do you ever run into that dynamic?
No, I don't think so. I haven't really thought about it that way.
Not really, because when he shows, oh God, there's a backlog of so many of his ideas. He comes up with more ideas than I can turn out. So because I need to, it's like out with the old, in with the new. Like, let's deal with this album first, but we'll just keep that on the back burner and
record.
So we have tons of little voice memos, and I can't wait for our next album, because it's going to be less pissed off, less angry, and more fun. And
we do have a couple sitting there waiting to be done that are a little more upbeat, a little more fun. Like there's one about
Cabo San Lucas, Mexico.
Cabo San Lucas, Mexico,
where we find ourselves in a Mexican jail.
Who did what? Whose fault is it? I'm guessing it's your fault.
It's Tequila's fault.
There's not enough pico de gallo in Mexico to get you out of jail, right?
Yeah.
Hey, we have to put that reference in there.
Yeah. So, writing music, coming up with riffs, like she says you do. What do you ever come up with something? You wake up in the middle of the night and do what Keith Richards used to do, and just start recording stuff. And then, but have you written something, or think, oh, this is amazing, and somebody says, oh, well, that's under my thumb, or that's
I do that
Cool in the Rain.
I'm like, this sounds familiar. What is it? Patio lanterns. Dang it.
Yeah.
Recently, so we figured out how to play. Inadvertently figured out how to play Patio Lanterns by Kim Mitchell.
Yeah.
So we've added it to the live list.
Yeah, I love that song. But that's why I don't really listen to a lot of radio or song, because it's like sometimes they're earworms, right?
Yeah.
And then you think that you've come up with your own original song. No, you just ripped off the latest song on the radio, and I'm like, oh man. So
well, it's like explaining that last song that we recorded here for the album, "Caught in the Crossfire."
Oh yeah.
The first half of it is
intense.
Well, I ripped off Kiss or
Did you?
Ace Frehley. I don't know, whoever. That basic rhythm is from back in the New York Groove.
Oh, neat! I didn't know that. It's
but the way we've
not
got
exact, but
that's where it kind of came from. Then
it was inspired. Yeah,
sounds like Dio.
Yeah.
Now, once we're done recording, it sounds like Dio met Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden, yeah. So I didn't even. I was not influenced by Iron Maiden at all. I had a boyfriend that gave me a poster of Eddie.
You went like this. Did you have it on your ceiling?
I had it on my ceiling, and then my sister would always try to come in and sleep with me. And then once that was on there, she didn't anymore. But it wasn't until Shocker that I actually started singing Iron Maiden. So back in 2021. So it's kind of funny how that works.
So you mentioned Shocker and your heavy metal stuff, and you also mentioned earlier that you like to go, or you have the opportunity to go to seniors' homes and sing for them, and they're not distracted by phones. They sing along, and they know the words, and they actually pay attention.
They do.
Which is more terrifying to you, a heavy metal crowd or the seniors who know all the words, and if you bugger it up, they went, you know what?
Oh, definitely the heavy metal crowd, because they're right at the stage, and then they're looking right at you, and I'm like, mommy. I better not screw these songs up, because I know that they know them. They know every word, because I can see their lips, but you know what? Like, it depends. With the older crowd, like, they're more forgiving too, and sometimes, yeah, they do sing along. So I just scope out the one who knows all the words, and if I forget them, I just look at her.
I bet they're so appreciative of it. And I can't remember who I was talking to. It was someone who said, if you ever want to get over your fears of performing, start doing it at seniors' homes because they are the most patient and the ones that are most forgiving and will just sit there and be entertained
Yes.
and enthusiastic about the fact that something is happening in front of them that makes them happy.
That's so true.
Yeah.
I've been called the joy bringer, and I love that because I try to sing the happy songs. I try to sing songs that they do know so they can sing along and then I enjoy performing at this retirement homes where, the workers, sing along and dance along with them, like even if they take their arms and just swing them because, it's lubricating their joints and, because yeah, it's just I couldn't imagine just sitting in a wheelchair and it just but they do enjoy it. Like you can
Yeah.
see some people that sometimes I sing at the extended care and continuing care, and they look like, unfortunately, they're almost on their deathbed, but then all of a sudden they spring up when they hear something that they recognize, and their eyes pop open and there's a little bit of life. And or dementia units, same thing. Oh, it's just it's so rewarding.
It's 2026 now. And if you go back 76 years, it's 1950. So, it wasn't long after 1950 that rock and roll came along. But if somebody who's 76 or 80 years old now, those first rock and roll songs were coming out before they were teenagers. There's going to be some people that you're entertaining in those facilities that, they might be in their late 80s or 90s or whatnot. So they were teenagers or maybe in their early 20s. Do you ever get into some of the doo-wop or Motown
Yeah.
or
Oh yeah.
I know Motown was primarily in the 60s, but some of the stuff beforehand to really get that light shining
Oh,
from them?
yes. Like last night I sang some Beatles and they just love that. And Patsy Cline, I do a lot of there was Dolly Parton they love. But primarily, yeah, it is music of the 60s, like the Motown. I forgot there's a band that I just recently joined called Twilight Time. It is a doo-wop band, and we sing songs of the Platters as well as a tribute to doo-wop music. And so I've kind of taken some songs from there, like, Under the Boardwalk and Chapel of Love, and, just songs that are instantly recognizable and people sing along.
I joked the other night that you're soon going to be popping the Ramones. I want to be sedated in there.
I want to be
Well,
sedated.
the time is going to come,
Yeah.
It is, yeah. Like yesterday afternoon, I sang to a very, very mild. They like the older stuff, but
Right.
then I was singing the older stuff later on in my second show, like it was pub night, and they're like, can you sing some more rock, please?" And I'm like, "Okay, sure, let's rock." And so yeah, it was more, just more of the early rock. So
with the Brigade Heart tribute, obviously that's probably a go-to, maybe 1 or 1A or whatever. But what is the genre or band or artist that you will immediately go, yeah, I want to sing that? And then conversely, what is the artist that you will stay away from because you know that you can't nail it?
oh gosh,
I mean, if you're doing Heart,
Yeah.
that's a level unto itself, right?
Yeah, I love Heart. I love Led Zeppelin too, but there's some songs that I won't do.
I bet you there's some Freddie Mercury stuff that you wouldn't touch.
I love Freddie, but yeah, like I think it's just there's
He's
what
got
what's that?
such a range.
Well, I've got his range, but the thing is, it's just finding bands that will actually want to do some of those things too, because you can't just wing it.
Yeah.
Like another one bites the dust. There's like specific shots and whatnot too. And it's, you need to really rehearse. And sometimes I don't have the time to rehearse with bands. It's like, okay, learn these songs and let's show up. And then that's what we do. And sometimes, but for Brigade, that stuff is really hard to just wing, and we have to rehearse, but just once. And then boom, and there we go. Yeah, we've got some shows coming up, Drayton Valley and Camrose, and but songs, people embrace both eras of Heart. I love singing the 70s, like all kinds of 70s music. April Wine especially, and Kansas, Carry On Wayward Son.
Yeah.
But we have a little bit of the 70s influences in our music, like CCR and whatnot.
Yeah. Wow, we even added Three Dog Night in there.
A
little bit.
I love
Have you ever been to Spain? Do you do that one?
You know what? I should. I love that song. I sing it as a backup vocalist for an Elvis tribute act.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
One is The Loneliest Number. Do you sing that one?
Oh, that's a good one.
I love Three Dog Night.
Boy, we actually started playing Shambhala.
Oh, it's a Shambhala. That's I love that one too.
Oh, that was an earworm for us for many weeks. So it's like, okay, we got to have that's on the list.
So this, what is it? Wednesday the 12th. So 11th. So this will come out on August 18th.
Oh,
is that Tuesday, August 18th? I think so.
That's something like that.
Anyway,
yes.
So you mentioned Drayton Valley and some of the other local shows. What do you have coming up that you can remember off the top of your head that people might be interested coming up after, mid-August? And of course, talk about the new single and any potential. You talked about the record coming out in September.
Well, at the end of August, I guess. Alan and I have a duo too. We will be at Starlight Casino, and also we'll be at this Rice Howard Way block party. We're just at 1 p.m. I have a Heart tribute. My Heart tribute band will be at Bailey Theater in Camrose on October 10th, and I'm performing in Riley on October 24th, and O'Byrne's on Halloween, and I can't remember a whole bunch, but they can always visit my website at www.dahliawakefield.com. I have socials like on Facebook and Instagram that I try my best to update. Sometimes life is just so fast paced. I have gigs every weekend, and so and then just everything going on is so hard for me to remember to post.
Yeah. And then the next song, What No More, is September 18th.
We haven't just decided. It's either September 11th or the 18th. Well, it's one of those dates, and but No More is our newest single, our 5th single from the album, and it will be out in September. The actual album will be out in October, so October 13th, we're hoping, if mixing goes well.
And then we'll be doing the album release party
at Chromazone on November 14th.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, there's lots to look forward to. And the fact that you're supporting yourself with music, you have so many gigs coming up, the songwriting partnership, 3 years young, but going strong, and lots of things to look forward to with new music and everything. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having us.
DahliaWakefield.com is where you can go and look her up, like you said, on all her social media. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This podcast is reluctantly sponsored by Timber-Built Homes. Timberbuilthomes.ca, where you can find out all you need to know about a home in a box. Also thanks to Concept Clothing and Culture, CONXEPPT.com. Men's and women's fashion, handmade, custom to you. And a big thanks to my real estate agent, Wendy Campbell. Wendy WENDE at blackmorerealestate.ca.